So last video we looked at working backwards to find the missing angle. This time we're going to look to find a missing length. So we're going to try and find the arc length, or we've been told the arc length is 14 meters, and we're being asked to find the length of OA. Now OA here is a radius, so I'm going to call it R. Now I start by saying my formula again. So arc length is going to be the angle all over 360 times pi times the diameter. I know that the arc length is 14 meters. I know that the angle is 23 all over 360 times pi times my diameter. Now, I can start to rearrange this. I'm trying to find what my diameter is. So I can see that I'm dividing by 360, so I'm going to times both sides by 360, which equals 23 times pi times my diameter. And that similar thing that I did in the last one, I'm multiplying by 23 and I'm also multiplying by pi. So I can divide by both of them at the same time. So it's 14 all over 360 divided by 23 times pi will tell me what my diameter is going to be. So when I type that into my calculator, 14 times 360 divided by 23 times pi, it comes out as 69.751 ... Now, I don't want my diameter here. O to A is a radius. So to work out my radius, I'm going to half it. Now, notice I didn't round my answer here. I've still kept my answer as 69.75138.376 on my calculator. At no point have I rounded it. Just keep it there. Simply hit divide by 2. And when you divide it by 2, you're going to get 34.875 ... and now round it, 34.88. And my distance is meters. I've rounded to 2 decimal places. It's important that you're not rounding too early. You should only round when you're ready to give your final answer. So if you're getting a value of a diameter, keep it in your calculator. Okay, you don't need to write down all the digits, but keep it stored in your calculator, and then just go straight to divide by 2, and it'll do whatever your answer is. So in this case, 69.751, so on, divided by 2, and it will half it for you. That way you know your answer is accurate, and you're rounding at the end. So my steps there, again, I've stated that formula, I've filled in all the values that I know, I've solved to find what my diameter is, and then it's just that understanding that you're trying to find the radius here. Let's try one more. This time, it's going to give us the area, and we're going to try and work out the length of the radius OA. So here, I've got sector area is going to be equal to the angle all over 360 times pi r squared. I know that the sector area is 12, the angle is 28, and I'm timesing by pi and by r squared. Now, same again, I'm going to multiply both sides by 360. It's going to be equal to 28 times pi r squared. Now, that r squared is what I'm trying to solve for. So I want to get rid of that 28 and that pi. Now, they're both timesing it, so I'm going to do that same skill where I can divide by both of them at the same time. So 12 times 360 divided by 28 times pi is equal to my radius squared. So 12 times 360 divided by 28 times pi. Apologies, typing in the wrong buttons. 12 times 360 divided by 28 times pi will come out as 49.110 ... Now this is the same as before. Don't round your answer because we're not finished. That is the value of your radius squared. So the easiest way to do this is to keep this value in your calculator, and so if you keep the value in your calculator, apologies, I've just clicked on it to get rid of it. So 12 times 360 divide by 28, and I'm dividing by pi. The easiest way to square root this value without having to type in all the digits is keep that value in as your answer, hit the square root button, and you'll have an answer button on your calculator. And you'll just square root your answer. That will do it automatically for you, and your radius will come out as 7.0079, which will be 7.01. And the units here are centimeters, and it's the 2 decimal places. Now, I knew it was centimeters because the area is in centimeters squared. Now, it's important that you are practicing these as always. So there are 3 where it gives you the arc length, it's asking what the diameter is, and there are 3 where it gives you the sector area and it's asking what the radius is. Please make sure you're trying these. If you get stuck, go back, watch the 2 videos, and as always, it's vital that you are answering these questions, marking these questions, to make sure that you are checking your understanding. Okay, to get the most out of these videos, you need to make sure that you are answering these questions and you are marking them